Our story last ended with Goku and Vegeta easily defeating Golden Frieza. Now, we would then cut into the next arc where Beerus and Champa would have their own little game, where they would see which universe is better by hosting their own tournament. The winner would get the Super Dragon Balls to make a wish. Now, Champa's wish is to have Earth as his own universe, as Earth in his universe, which is Universe 6, was destroyed due to wars and more. Beerus's Earth is fine. But now, it shall begin. Champa would still arrive with Vados, and he would still challenge Beerus to a little food off, as they do it every now and again. Beerus obviously won, presenting a simple dish, instant ramen, which Champa and even Vados loved, and now Champa hosts a game. So, who would be the contestants who would step up to go fight? Well, obviously it would be Goku. Goku would be the main lead. Beerus is very confident that he's going to win. If Goku's power can match near his own, that would definitely show you that Goku is absurdly OP. And we all know how this tournament will go. Goku will not go up first. He will be last. He will basically be the Manaka of the group. He will be the final person in case it all goes down. But of course it will be Vegeta and Piccolo. So first up will be Piccolo actually going first. So when Piccolo does step up, he would fight Potamo. Now Piccolo realizes when he starts attacking Potamo that his strikes don't do any damage to him. It doesn't even move Potamo, he's just standing there. It's because every attack is being sent to another place. That is Potamo's power. He's invulnerable, pretty much. Now Piccolo is very intelligent, like how Goku was, so he realizes that he cannot brute force his way through Potamo. Piccolo would then use his arms to then grab under Potamo's legs, knocking him over as he's too big, and then he would then drag Potamo all the way to the outer ring and toss him out, knocking Potamo out, who has now been defeated. Now the next person will be Frost. Now Frost is an interesting character, as when the Z Fighters first see him, they thought he was like Frieza, but Frost was actually really nice. Apparently in Universe 6 he was classed as a hero, and saved a lot of people. Frost seemed like a good guy. Now his fight with Piccolo would go a little bit differently. We'll get into this in a moment. Now, Piccolo originally was overwhelmed by Frost, because Frost was a lot more powerful than him. Now Piccolo had more strategic abilities, but this version of Piccolo is not as weak as you guys may seem. He's not the same as the original. When Piccolo is fighting Frost, they would of course go toe-to-toe. First, Frost would be in his first form, and of course it'll be a little thing back and forth. And then Frost would then go into his third form, which he quotes as his final form. Of course, Vegeta calls that out, that's BS. Now Piccolo and Frost would then clash again, and it seems to be a little bit more even, but it seems like Piccolo does have the upper hand on Frost being more experienced in combat. Now Frost here would then state that while you can go to his true form, he's worried that he'll use too much power and he doesn't want to kill Piccolo by accident. And Piccolo says that's not going to happen. He wants him to go to his full strength. And Frost would do so, going into his final form. He would then clash with Piccolo again. Now, it seems that Frost is overwhelming Piccolo at the start, and it appears so. Frost's attacks overwhelm Piccolo, and he is knocked near the edge, and he seemed to be defeated. And Gohan was a little worried, but he still smiled because he knows that Piccolo is not done, and Goku can sense it too. As, remember, Piccolo has been really pushing himself since how strong Goku has gotten, and Gohan has still not slacked off on his training. While yes, Videl was still pregnant with Pan and all that, they still have their child, Gohan would still not slack off. While yes, he does still do his job and his studies as a teacher for colleges with the help of Bulma, but he still trains. Remember, Gohan's potential is so busted that he can train a few times and he doesn't get rusty. He said so himself in Dragon Ball Super, and by Piccolo too. And if Gohan does real training, his power will skyrocket, as his potential just continues to rise and pool in power. Now, if this is the case, Gohan would then state that Piccolo's not done yet, he's still holding back. As when Piccolo does get up, he actually commends Frost on his skills. It's really impressive. And then Piccolo would then begin to power up, having a white aura around him. He then goes full power. His muscles do bulk a little bit, as he's now at 100%. Now, Frost was surprised by this power, as he was holding back this much. Piccolo was only using about half of his strength, but now at full strength, Piccolo's going to go all out. Piccolo would then try to show a recap of his memories, showing that ever since Goku has gotten so strong, even battling destroyers, he didn't want himself to be left behind in the dust that bad. Same with even Gohan. So him and Gohan would train consistently. Piccolo's been training harder than ever to try and keep up, the best that he can, and to push himself to be the best warrior that he can be. And so, this is when Piccolo states that he's been using gravity training more and more. He would then ask Bulma for help with this, and stating that, well, in return, he would then help take care of the place, clean the place up, and more. But in turn, he needs to use the gravity machine. Now, Bulma, of course, has multiple of them, because she's Bulma, she's rich, and she let Piccolo borrow one near his house that he does have. So Piccolo has been training there in 400 to 500 times gravity, which is absolutely absurd. Piccolo's been training and pushing himself. And now he can see the fruits of his training, as Piccolo has also removed his armor, which is heavily weighed down. And now he's at full strength. He would fly in, elbowing Frost, and Frost was shocked with the pure power that Piccolo had. As Piccolo was mopping the floor with Frost, even at his full power, he couldn't match Piccolo. Piccolo was way too strong. And Piccolo was ready to finish this, as he commended Frost as a warrior, but he says it is time to give up. This is when Frost would do something that people were not expecting. Frost would then lunge forward, and he would just hit Piccolo's forearm a little bit, but then Piccolo felt weird. He started getting really drowsy and woozy, and then Frost then knocked him out of the ring. Now, people were suspicious as to what happened, and Piccolo doesn't know what happened either, but something was up. He felt dizzy, he felt nauseous, something was wrong. But the announcer said that Piccolo was now defeated, and Frost was the winner. So the next person to step up was Vegeta. Now, Vegeta feels like something's up. Something is not right. Now, Frost notes on how much stronger Vegeta is than even Piccolo. When Vegeta does go Super Saiyan, he slaps around Frost pretty bad. Although Vegeta thinks that Frost might be a good guy, he still doesn't really like Frost's species because of someone named Frieza. And Frost knew that he was in trouble. Now, this is when Vegeta actually grabs Frost by the neck. He was going to throw him off. Frost was able to hit his arm with the needle. And Vegeta would get drowsy. Frost would be able to knock him out of the ring and defeat him. Now, Beerus is getting worried. But then Jacko, the greatest galactic patrolman, he calls Frost out. He notices something. As then the announcer would then look at Frost, he sees that Frost has a needle. And it was true. Frost was cheating. And it was all a lie. Frost was actually evil. Now, personally, I don't really like how Frost was evil. They should have made him a good guy. It would have been a good contrast to Frieza, but can't help themselves, can they? Frost was cheating the whole time. His whole identity was a lie. Frost was actually a bad guy. Frost was just fake helping people to make his image look better in the eyes of the universe. But Frost was secretly evil. This shocked everybody, even Kappa, who fought alongside Frost. But why? As Frost wants to use the Super Dragon Balls for his own gain, of course. And now, of course, this is when Piccolo and Vegeta were taken out of being defeated, and they were not disqualified. But this is when Goku would then step up and state, no, Frost is not disqualified. Let me fight him. Goku does not like cheaters, and he does not appreciate what Frost is doing. He wants a crack at him. So Goku would choose to fight, and then he'll step back, and then he'll let Piccolo and the others go at it. And it does seem fair. So Beerus would allow it, Champa does too, because Champa doesn't realize how strong Goku is. Goku's been holding back the whole time. Now, he did hear Beerus laughing and joking about how, oh, he has a warrior stronger than that of God of Destruction, but Champa doesn't believe it, as that's impossible, right? And Vados, even though she kept to herself, she knows that that is true. As an end, Goku would then step up to fight Frost. Now, Frost is confident he would win. He tries using the needle. Goku, in base form, would appear right in front of Frost, delivering a powerful gut punch that would send Frost through the arena and defeat him. Now, this even made Hit open his eyes and watch Goku, as that speed was impressive. Now, since Frost was defeated, he would actually try to sneak off and go steal the ship. But Hit would arrive and he would actually defeat Frost. and supposedly kill him. But in reality, he just incapacitated him, and Frost was still alive. But now, Goku would then swap places, as next up would be Vegeta, as Vegeta wants his get back. And do I really blame him? Not really. As now that Vegeta is now up, Vegeta would then go fight Kaba. Now, fighting Kaba's, the fight would pretty much go the same. Vegeta was kind of teaching Kaba the whole match. He wasn't really taking it seriously. He did make Kaba transform into a Super Saiyan, and the fight was pretty cool, but we all know that Vegeta was not going full strength, and of course he defeated Kaba. Now, I swapped some of the things up with Vegeta and Kaba, as Vegeta was actually supposed to be next, but I just wanted to swap it up and give Vegeta some love. And then Piccolo would then ask Vegeta to swap out this one match, as Piccolo wants to fight Vegeta. And I think Vegeta would respect Piccolo in that sense and let him do it, as Goku would kind of say, Vegeta, let Piccolo get some vengeance back, for God's sakes. He couldn't even go all out against Frost. And so he would, but he says that he's next if Piccolo gets knocked out. So Piccolo would then step up. As Vegeta got his revenge, he's satisfied with it against Frost and the others, so whatever. Piccolo would then step up and fight Vegeta. Now, the fight between Piccolo and Vegeta would be epic, as Vegeta is absurdly strong. He is stronger than Kaba and Frost. Piccolo is having a tough time, but then he realizes something, as in anger, he calls Kaba a metal freak. This would then hurt Vegeta's feelings as he gets really upset, and Piccolo then realizes that, wait a minute, saying mean things to him is his weakness. He then calls him a box of scraps, a washing trash can, and it makes Vegeta cry comically, and Piccolo would then shove him off the ring, and he was defeated. Now, Piccolo was a little tired because of all the steam, but he was able to drink some water, and he was okay. As next up was Hit. Now, Piccolo was ready to fight Hit, and Hit does commend Piccolo on being a well-seasoned warrior, but against him, he's already lost. Now, Piccolo would try everything against Hit, but didn't work. Hit was using an ability that Piccolo's never seen before, and it was knocking him around the ring, hitting his vital points. Piccolo would have been defeated, as he would have been knocked out, but Hit still gives Piccolo his respect for how well that he did. Now, Piccolo was of course okay, but he was pretty wounded, but he was fine. Just give him a Senzu Bean, he was back to full strength. Piccolo was knocked out. Now, next up is Vegeta. Now, Vegeta's been waiting for this. Now, Vegeta's not as tired as he was in the original, because he fought Vegeta. This is when we would see Vegeta going to fight Hit. He would do a little better. But I think what would happen here is Vegeta would start to see how Hit's time skip worked a little bit, seeing that it's a time skipping ability. But unfortunately, he already went Super Saiyan Blue, and stated by Whis, when you transform in and out of Super Saiyan Blue in the anime version, you lose the stamina. Now in the manga, it's a little bit differently. Manga doesn't really have that issue with Super Saiyan Blue. Now, Vegeta almost lands a hit on him, but Hit's punch right to Vegeta's stomach would make him knock over. As he was just hitting his vital points, Vegeta would be knocked out of Blue. It would take Hit a little bit longer, but the same event would happen. Vegeta would have been knocked out. Now, Champa was, of course, thinking that they're going to win, until Beerus would then pat Goku's shoulder, knocking him forward, telling him to go knock him out of the park. Let's get done. As Goku was excited, he's never seen somebody with this kind of ability. It was amazing. So he would then jump forward, and he would get into a stance and go fight Hit. Now, the two would then clash each other, as Goku and Hit would trade blows back and forth. Goku was able to land blows on Hit, actually hitting him. There's a lot of hits in here, isn't it? As Hit was shocked that Goku can overwhelm his time skip, as Goku was hit with it a few times. It didn't really affect him that badly, though. It didn't hurt him that bad, because Hit was a lot weaker than him. But now that Goku figured out how the time skip worked, he would just power up, and he would just transform into a Super Saiyan, and power up even further, going Super Saiyan 2, to overwhelm Hit's speed. Now, Hit was progressing faster, and as he was getting stronger, Goku would then showcase to him a new form. And by a new form that they've never seen before. Goku would then go Super Saiyan 3, removing his G, as he would then transform into a Super Saiyan 4. This power was more than enough to handle Hit, as Goku can rival gods with this power. Goku's pure strength alone, and his raw speed, would overwhelm Hit. As it was a send-off between the two, even though Hit was progressing and getting stronger, Goku's blows and power was just way too much, and Hit would have been overwhelmed even though he was progressing. With the powerful punch to Hit's side, Hit would have been knocked out of the ring and defeated. But now Goku knows that Hit was not using his full strength. He knows that he was not using his deadly techniques, and he does want to fight Hit again sometime. And Hit was actually happy that he lost, as now he needs to improve his time-skipping ability. And he will be seeing Goku again one day. As now, Goku would then step up, as he now won. He then reverts back to base form, and things were all happy. Until 3 new beings appear, and Beerus about pooped himself. Same with Choppa, as there's these 2 tall beings, and one little one looked like a baby. It was Gran Zeno. Now, of course, the Supreme Kais, the Angels, and the God of Destruction all bowed in respect to Zeno, that he's the supreme ruler of all 12 universes. He's the ultimate power. Goku would just walk right up to Zeno, shake his hand, and become best friends with him, shocking everybody. And Zeno actually really likes Goku. He says how strong Goku is. It's really, really cool. And Goku definitely wants to do this again sometime. He definitely wants to fight again. And Zeno thinks that's a great idea. So, this is how I believe the Tournament of Power will soon begin. But before we do that, in the distant future, Trunks was running for his life as Goku Black was still here. Now, this version of Goku Black will be the same as the original. Remember, this version of Goku is a what-if version of Goku. It wouldn't make a lot of sense, because if he did take over his body, this version of Goku wouldn't be there. There would then be 2 tree branches of a what-if, and it wouldn't make a lot of sense. Since a what-if is already a branch off on his own. But Trunks will be running for his life. He would be able to get into the time machine and go back to the past and arrive in this what-if timeline. Now that he was here, he would then explain to everybody about Goku Black. Goku Black would make a brief appearance, and he would fight Goku. Now, Goku was in base form. He wasn't really trying, but he was overwhelming Goku Black pretty easily. And Goku Black was loving the pain because it was making him stronger. Now, this is when originally Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks would then go to the future first, and they would try fighting Goku Black, but then they would get overwhelmed, and they would have lost. Vegeta got stabbed, and then it would have went back. Then that's when they met Zamasu, and that's how the whole new thing started. Then they went back to the future again, movie reference, and then that's when the whole merge Zamasu thing happened. Well, it's going to change a little bit in this arc, because Goku is so much stronger. So when they first go to the future, Goku Black's in some trouble. Now, I think Vegeta would still step up and fight Goku Black first, and he would then showcase Super Saiyan Blue, and Goku Black was overwhelmed until he would then showcase his new form, Super Saiyan Rose. Now, with this form, he was now completing Goku's powers. Now, Vegeta, would he be stabbed? Well, I would say yes. Vegeta would still be stabbed by the Keyblade, but he would then grab his hand and begin to laugh. He then tells Zamasu that you're a fool. This pain gets his blood pumping. Vegeta's wound would then heal up almost, as he would then begin to transform. Vegeta was in an early version of Ultra Ego. Not the version he was in when they fought Gas and Granola, but he was in Ultra Ego, or you could say Autonomous Ultra Ego, where he does have the hair and the aura, but he's not fully there yet. But he is much stronger. He's a lot more powerful than he would be as a Super Saiyan Blue evolution. But it's not complete yet. He can't fully control the power, and he can't hold it for long. But he would overwhelm Goku Black and slap him around the city before he would then lose the power. And he explains that he still needs to perfect this power, and he still needs to continue training with Beerus. This is when Goku would then step up and fight Goku Black. As Goku Black knows he's getting overwhelmed, he would try to flee, but Goku would grab him, stopping him. And Goku would then grab the time ring that he has and rip it off of his finger and throws it to the Supreme Kai, who would then take it, telling him that you are not escaping. And he would absolutely dominate Goku Black. Goku would be either in Super Saiyan 4 or Super Saiyan God. That's more than what he needs, and Goku Black has no chance. Goku was easily overwhelming the evil Kai. As Goku Black, out of desperation, would try to break Goku. He would then explain what he did. How did he take Goku's body? He would then explain that he is Zamasu. He then swapped bodies with Goku and killed Chi-Chi and Goten. This was a bad mistake, as Goku's power began to grow and grow. Goku would then go into Super Saiyan Blue and go full power. Now, Goku's strength was stronger than Beerus, as he says, "You'll regret telling me that, because now I'm really mad." He would absolutely dominate Goku Black in their fights, delivering a powerful gut punch making him spit blood. He would waste no mercy, as he would then fire a full power Kamehameha wave, hitting Goku Black, which would completely incinerate him. But now that the future was quote-unquote saved, it was all destroyed though. Trunks felt so defeated. As he said, "My mother's gone, everyone's gone, I don't know what to do." Now, mind you, New Namek is still there, and Goku does know where it is. He did briefly go there in a filler episode when they were looking at Cell, so he could technically go there. Goku would then tell Trunks that he knows where New Namek is, let's help him get his future set up, and then we'll go back. So Goku would then use instant transmission, meaning the Namekians, who were all happy to see Goku. Goku would then ask to use the Namekian Dragon Balls. It has 3 wishes. The first wish was to wish back everybody that was killed by Goku Black. The second wish was everybody that was killed by the androids, so everybody was brought back. And the Z Fighters, the majority of them were brought back. The only person who couldn't be brought back was Goku, because Goku was still dead. As remember, Goku died because of a sickness, so it's natural causes. The Dragon Balls can't bring that back. And then the final wish would be to repair the damage that was caused by the androids and Goku Black to the world. So the world was all pieced back together. Now, when they do go back, Goku, Trunks' mother's there. All the Z Fighters are there. And even Vegeta was there. And they all saw Trunks' journey. And they were all truly proud of Trunks. Even future Gohan was. And with Piccolo there, same with Kami, they would be able to, of course, use the Earth Dragon Balls to fix some of the things that might need fixing. But the future was saved, and Trunks would truly thank Goku for what he did, and Goku would then take his leave and go back to his timeline with the others. Now that there was finally peace, though, for the future timeline, we're now going to jump into the other arc, the Tournament of Power. Now, the Tournament of Power would go pretty bad for the other universes. The first thing that I think would happen is, remember initially, Zeno would have all the Gods of Destruction fight first. But the reason why he changed the rules up was because they were fighting too fast, and he couldn't see. Which I think is really weird that an omnipotent being cannot see Gods of Destruction fighting. It's a little weird. It was just on the tablet, so I guess he couldn't see it because it was too fast. But yet, Jiren's as strong as the God of Destruction. Same with Goku and MUI. How could Zeno see that? So that was just a weird filler thing that they were doing, I think. But as we know, it's Dragon Ball. Things don't make a lot of sense. But what would then happen here is Goku would actually step up to fight the gods. What I think what would happen is the gods would know how it is Goku's fault that the Tournament of Power is happening. The gods would then turn on Goku. Except Beerus, of course. Beerus is staying the hell out of this way, as Goku would then stand in the middle, as Zeno wants to see this, as all the gods surround Goku. Now, of course, Belmont would then kick one of the Gods of Destruction and explain that, of course, this is a free-for-all. Now, Goku's in some bad trouble, though, because he's going to have to fight all these Gods of Destruction. But we would then see Goku's power truly shine. Goku would then be as a Super Saiyan Blue. The Gods of Destruction would then start fighting Goku. Now, Goku's able to fight them, a few of them at the same time, but they're so skilled and so powerful, he starts to get overwhelmed. And Whis is watching with a serious face because him and Goku have been secretly training. Remember, Vegeta has been long surpassed by Goku. Vegeta has his own training regimen under Beerus. So Goku's been solely training with Whis inside of Whis' staff and more. Goku's not showing his full power yet. He's been saving this, as Goku would then tank a powerful Hakai Blast that all the Gods of Destruction would throw at him. Goku's was pretty badly wounded. His top G was destroyed, and he had some scars on him from the fight. Goku would then smirk, as the gods were confused, as they were a little bit beat up as well from Goku. Goku would explain that he's been wanting to save this and fight Beerus again with it, but I guess he doesn't have a choice, as he would then go back to base form and close his eyes. Now the gods were confused, they would just charge in. Goku would then dodge all of their attacks with ease, as then Zeno and everyone watched in shock. As a thin line of aura surrounds Goku, Goku would then transform into Ultra Instinct. as every God of Destruction was shocked. As they would then charge in to try and attack Goku, but he would dodge every single attack, delivering a perfect punch right to their stomach, knocking them over. As Whis would then state what it is, as Beerus would then say out, Ultra Instinct. And Champa would hear that as he was fighting Goku, and he would give up. As the Gods of Destruction all heard that he has Ultra Instinct, but they're still going to try. So, the 10 Gods of Destruction, since Champa pretty much gave up, and Beerus is now fighting, there's 10 of them, they would all jump Goku. Goku would be able to dodge all of their attacks and defeat them one by one. It was an insane choreographed fight. Goku would overwhelm them and defeat them, knocking them all out of the ring, and Goku was the actual winner. And Zeno thought it was so awesome, but it was a bit trash because he kind of wants to see all the other people fight. He kind of wants to see it better since his tablet wasn't being able to keep up. And so Zeno would then make the rules that all 12 universes fighters are going to fight, 10 of them. So Goku would then head back and tell everybody about the Tournament of Power. Now Beerus is obviously very confident that they're going to win because look at Goku. And the Grand Priest even knows that Goku has the most power, but he is immortal, so he is allowed to fight. So the Tournament of Power would still happen fully. Now, Goku's team, I think, would practically be the same, except for Frieza. I don't see why they would get Frieza since they don't really need him, but carrying on. As once when they do arrive, we all know how this is going to go. Goku would absolutely dominate every single fighter in his way. Kale and Caulifla would have been knocked out. Any other fight would have been knocked out. The Z fighters were just all stronger. Piccolo stronger, Gohan stronger. The Earthlings are even a little bit stronger because they got more motivation. Vegeta's a lot stronger. When he goes to fight Toppo, he already has Ultra Ego. And by this point, since it's been a little while, he's actually perfected it more. So he's able to transform into it a lot better and actually overwhelm Toppo pretty easily. Now, Jiren is the only one who can kind of push Goku, since he is stronger than a God of Destruction. When he goes to meet up with Goku, Goku would overwhelm Jiren as a Super Saiyan Blue. Jiren would get angry and he would go to his limit-breaking form. Their fight alone was knocking everybody out of the ring because it was destroying everything. As it was a handful of fighters left, it was really just Universe 11 and Universe 7. And Universe 7 still had their fighters, like Android 17, 18, and more. Now, this is when we would have Goku overwhelm Jiren, as he would then transform into his Ultra Instinct mode, and he would overwhelm Limit Breaker Jiren and knock him out of the ring, making Universe 7 the winner. Now, Gohan was still classed as the leader of the team, so he was actually given the wish. And Gohan would wish for all the universes to be brought back. Now, of course, if he didn't do that, Zeno, I've already predicted it, he would have pretty much destroyed everything. So, it would have gone pretty bad. But, since now that all the universes are now brought back, peace is finally restored. Now, of course, since Frieza was technically never brought to the Tournament of Power, Broly would never arrive. Now, if Frieza was in the Tournament of Power, the Broly movie still happened, Broly would get absolutely dominated by Goku and the others, as Broly would have no chance. Even at his full power mode, he does have more raw power than Jiren, as it was stated. But Goku is so strong that he would have overwhelmed Broly, but spared his life, as he wants to teach Broly and bring him to Beerus' world. Now, what about the events of the superhero movie, the Moro arc? Well, the events of the Moro arc would end really bad for Moro. Even Vegeta would overwhelm him, as Vegeta can just Hakai Moro and defeat him. Remember, Vegeta has even mastered more of the Ultra Ego state, his God of Destruction form. He can just Hakai him and defeat him, as Moro was old and weaker by that time. He needed to eat energy to survive. So imagine that. So the arc would have ended a lot faster. Or you would have had Goku power up, and it would have been too much power for Moro to contain, like an angel almost, and it would have basically made him erupt and explode, as it would have been too much power. Now, the events of the superhero movie will go pretty similar, as Gohan would still have trained with the Kais. I think that still would have happened. Now, even if Gohan didn't have Mystic, either way, I think his power with training with Piccolo would still rival him of a Super Saiyan Blue, and I think Gohan would still unlock his Beast form. Same with Piccolo unlocking his Potential Unleashed / Orange form state. Now, and they would have helped to fight the Gammas and then defeat Cell Max if that would have still happened. Now, the events of the Gas and Granola arc, would it realistically happen? Probably not, but let's just say it did. If Granola did wish to become the strongest mortal, he would age like how Gas did and die almost instantly, because Goku was so strong. And if Granola tried making the same wish, or excuse me, if Gas tried making the same wish, it would have happened the same way. There's no Black Frieza to fight, and if Black Frieza was even there, Goku would have overwhelmed him and defeated him. It would have been a tougher fight since Frieza is getting near the power of a God of Destruction, but it was stated that Beerus is so stronger than Black Frieza in the manga, but in the anime he is far stronger. Goku would have still defeated Frieza, and he would have defeated him. And that is it for this one, you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think about the whole series as a whole. I know I kind of jumped forward the gun at the end, but it's because nothing else will really happen past that point. Since Goku's so OP, he would just knock out everybody. There's not really much of a chance anybody else would have. So anyway, thank you all so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to go on the community post and post your ideas on there. And when the vote comes out, make sure to vote. So anyway, thank you all so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. Let's get to 50,000 subscribers, and we'll talk on the next one. Peace.